Hello ladies and germs, how you doing? Actually, I'm going to move that camera back a little bit now. Bad timing. Start the stream and then move the camera. Might have been better just to have done that beforehand, hey? But, them's the breaks. Hope you're all doing good. I had a bit of time off Christmas and New Year without social media and stuff, which was marvellous, to tell the truth. New beginner's course seems to be going well. Most people seem to be viewing it on the website on Vimeo rather than on YouTube, which is surprising but kind of good. No ads over there and all of that sort of stuff. Ah, and Keith, first comment, Keith, with the hound dogs, the band dogs. He's in the house already. Well done, man. Thank you for coming in and Happy New Year to you and everyone else. So I'm going to transcribe at least one, possibly two or three John Frusciante songs today. Just for fun, a few requests for those, and they're not so commonly taught. I'm going to start with the one called The Will to Death. It's got some really nice chord progressions and stuff in there to check out. One thing other, just before I get stuck in and start transcribing, I wanted to mention is I've started a little GoFundMe thing to try and raise some money for the people suffering from these incredibly horrible fires in Australia at the moment. If you go to justinguitar.com/fire, it'll take you to the GoFundMe page. I'm giving away some Skype lessons and a bunch of guitars, but you can't win the guitars. The guitars are for people affected that might find learning guitar a cool thing, or perhaps some volunteer firemen as well. I might send some too. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. So I'm going to do this tune. I'm going to take some Q&A and just have a hang as well, because it's been a while. I've been meaning to do some stuff sooner than this. It's just been particularly busy with things to do with the website and the sorting out the website and the new course and all this sort of stuff, plus taking some time off for the family and things over Christmas. Yeah, and not long until I'm off to California for the NAMM show. You'll probably hear a bit of stomping around upstairs. My daughter's home today and the weather's really miserable, so I can't get her out playing outside, so they're running around upstairs in the studio a little bit. I'll check in with the comments in a little bit. I just want to have a go through this tune. I'm just going to listen to it and kind of play along with it first and see how far I get with make sure I get the form of it kind of right. I don't know the song massively well. Love John Frusciante's playing. Haven't listened to the solo albums as much as I probably should. I've just downloaded it to listen to my stuff. Oh, Chris has just donated some money, and it's got a big blue comment come up on my screen. Thank you very much, Chris. Be careful with the commenting thing, doing that, because I might not see it if I'm transcribing, but thank you very much, man. Much appreciate the support. Okay, here we go. Let me just see how far I get through the tune.
We saw them.
that's it. Wow. Okay, that was like way simpler than I was anticipating. I mean, the whole song before the end of the song, except for the solos. But even they'd be. Any of you guys getting into transcribing, this is a fantastic song for learning too. So we need to think of another song, probably off this record. I think this would be a nice one to do. Maybe a different song of his. I fancy doing a bit more of this. So now I'm just going to write out the tune. I think I can do that now just for listening, because do e do 1 2 and a 3, 2 and a 3 and 4. Same strumming. That was F sharp minor. F sharp minor. Stayed on F sharp minor the second time. Strumming stayed the same more or less. Actually, I will notate what the strumming was there. Was it da 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 da? Yeah, da 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 da. Oh, do. It's not tied, it's a rest. Sorry, gotta get that stuff right, eh? Twice through before the verse started. Sorry, or just I think it was repeated all of that. I think. Exactly the same. Verse 2. So much pain in his voice. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's just a slight change at the end. Very Chili Peppers, or his style. It's not Chili Peppers style, is it? 3, 4, 1 with an extra. So it's the same as V1, but with an extra bar of F sharp minor chucked in there. And if you see, it starts on the F sharp minor again. Now they run out of gas. That goes to E to B major. Eat the pain, you sing in the rain, endless and formless, they fly to the end and back to the beginning again. Have you put just 4 times round. So So I'll take, after I've done this bit, it's mostly repetition, then I'll do a little Q&A section. Okay, that's the chorus. That is times 3 with just normal strumming, and then there's just one where it does just with the single strums. I didn't write down the strumming pattern though. Oh, not for that big. Just straight down strums on the edit. Love John's simplicity. Oh, detected copyright on your stream may be temporarily blocked. Okay, let's see what happens. Copyrighted audio in your stream. Well, I guess we just have to see if that affects it or not. I suppose it's because I'm playing bigger chunks of the song now, so things might go a little bit wrong. In fact, I think that, I mean, I did play the whole song. It's difficult to transcribe like this, isn't it, if I'm not going to play the whole song. It does mean that this probably won't get kept. Like I won't be able to leave the thing up. It'll be it'll be pulled down or whatever after I finish streaming. Let's just see what happens. If I lose streaming consciousness or whatever it's called, if I lose my stream, then whatever. It's not the end of the world, is it? Okay, and then we're on to verse 3. I'll probably just start up again, and then if I lose this one, then I'll just start up another one for doing a general Q&A. Beginning again. One and two and 3 and 4. How many bars is that going to go for? Am I still rolling? Still straight. Stream looks like it's still going. Nothing's changed. 4 bars of C sharp minor with that nice strumming pattern, which I forgot to write down. Da, da. I think that's it. Da 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 and 2 and a 3 and 4 and a So let's repeat it for 4 bars. And then we've got the solo, which I'm not going to do now. I'm pretty sure that was just over the verse. But you can solo. Yeah, so solo over verse progression. Wow, that's one of the sloppiest charts I've ever done. Look at that. That's what you call like a messy chart. Can't see it because the light at the top, but I'm sure we'll all survive. I hope. So there's a quick transcription of The Will of Death by John Frusciante, in case you missed that. I do a little bit of Q&A now. Let me just jump onto my YouTube channel for a second. There we go. While we decide what we're going to do next. What am I trying to do? It says 10K. I'm not sure if that's how to pronounce your name. I was just transcribing a tune. Hey Justin, didn't recognize you with my hat. Yeah, I don't wear the hat. It's not like permanently attached. In fact, I very rarely wear it outside of making guitar videos, to be honest, unless I'm doing a guitar show or something like that. Ali Agu, I don't know how to pronounce that. Agulia? Oh God, I'm so rubbish at names that. Yeah. Anyway, glad to be helping. Yeah, it's really nice of you that for you give me some good vibes there. Steve's on the course as well, and it's not a dreaded theory course. It's a great one. Okay, these are song suggestions, I guess. A Doubt, Low Birds. There's not so many fires in Tasmania. We did have some fires in Tasmania, but nothing like what's going on in New South Wales. It's awful. Aguilar. Okay, thanks, Brian. Any plans on doing any Muse? I hadn't immediately, but yeah, I should. There's quite a few requests coming up for Anne by John Frusciante. So it's something that all of the Frusciante fans are going, yeah, do that one, do that one. I'll probably listen to it. It'll be some nightmare difficult thing. Thank you, Galen. There are already tabs of John's songs on the internet. Yeah, but people like me don't use tabs. We use our ears to listen to it and figure out, because I'm not going to trust somebody else's ears on that. I'd rather use a tab and listen to you pick up more when you learn stuff by ear. You hear the rhythm better. The feel of it is important for me, much more than what the notes are. Have I transcribed Rory Gallagher? I have done some, but he's difficult, very difficult, but it's good fun. Have you gotten around to learning Boogie Shred? No, I've never learned Boogie Shred. Mike's thing. No, that was too hard. That's not my bag at all. Low Bird's riff is pretty lovely. Yeah, transcribe songs. Is it okay to simply transcribe songs? Okay. I've been listening to some of the, what's the other, there's one Frusciante album that I've got that I really like. Then I think I did one tune off that. What was the one called that I did off that song? I did one of the songs off that, I'm sure. Or maybe not. What was the one? I did one in 5/4 a little while ago. I've even played it at like jams and stuff. Can't think of it. Anyway, I haven't done any James Taylor for ages, but I used to. I love James Taylor. He's one of my all-time favourites. What do I like about John Frusciante? Everything about it. He's just such a tasteful, wonderful musician. Plays for the song instead of just endless noodly wank. John Frusciante is definitely in the top guitar players of all time, in my humble opinion. The Past Recedes, that's the song that I did ages ago. I can't really rank Knopfler in the top 5 of all time. I don't know. I mean, he's, you know, in that top level, there's just a big group. It's not like one's, you can't say Jeff Beck and Mark Knopfler are better than each other because they're too different. Okay, so Ostrich Nipples. What a fantastic username, Ostrich Nipples. Okay. Wall of Death goes up. I'm just doing some, I've got to transcribe some, sorry, I've got to film some songs shortly, and I'm just trying to figure out what to do as my first batch of songs for this year. I think I'm not going to do Sleep with Lion Jack. I'm going to do The Cold Stairs Into Black, which I transcribed live the other week. The Will of Death, that's another, you know, it's a little bit morbid, isn't it? But, you know, I'm sure we'll get going. Crying Machine by Steve Vai. See, the thing is with Steve Vai is that it just takes for ages. I mean, and actually with Steve Vai, often I just can't play it. I don't have the technique for that sort of stuff, you know. But as well, it's just really, really time consuming to transcribe. So I was just thinking about doing some of the Joe Satriani two-handed stuff that I learned like 100 years ago. So yeah, we'll see. No, I don't still teach Katie Mellor. I haven't seen her for years and years and years. John Mayer is incredible at guitar. Nick Holes asks, yeah, like really, really does things that not many people at all can do. Albert King is great too. Yeah. How about Neil Young? Yes, I love Neil. Neil's my favourite of all time. I've done lots of Neil songs if you head over onto the website. Okay, let's have a look at this Anne, the John Frusciante song Anne. Let me see if I can find that. What album's it on? Frusciante Anne. There it is. From Curtains. Okay, let's have a listen. Got no idea what to expect. In fact, I've not heard it.
We'll find you. It's a matter where pride flies out the window. I never got the weight off the ground. I just forgot what's up and what's down. How many get the way I feel now? There's no regret, there's just the sense that nothing is coming my way. There's so much.
Wow, there's lots and lots of fancy chords in this. As Pete Honore would call them, expensive chords. A lot going on. Oh, nice singing harmony with the guitar.
The gods of the city have called my name. It means more to them than it means to me. Somehow I left my body, I left my face.
You can so hear him in the Chili Peppers for me. It's just like when I hear his solo records, it's like his influence within the Chili Peppers was so strong. Okay, let's see how far I can get through this one before the YouTube cuts me off. And yeah, this one might take a little bit more mucking around than usual, guys. Just to warn you, there's going to be a little bit of to-ing and fro-in. Some of it I might leave till later, depending on how boring I think it is for you guys. I can do this for ages without getting bored, but
and you can hide.
Okay, I need a bit more volume as well.
And you can hide, you know, we'll.
I've got a really annoying reverb on my Kemper there, hang on. hater.
And you can't hide, you know, we'll find you.
So it was definitely a. I need to go through and figure out exactly the grips.
It's a matter where pride flies out the window. I never
4-4 minor, is it, John?
got the
This is where it gets a bit weird. Some of these chords have got different bass notes and stuff.
I never got the weight off the ground.
Well, what's that first chord?
Never got the weight. I never
Is it major 7 then?
I never got
No, not minor major 7.
I never got the weight.
Sorry, I'm just experimenting a bit here to see.
Never got the weight off
Yeah, that's that chord.
the ground.
This first two are proving a bit more difficult. Second chord's a diminished chord, I think.
I never got
No. No, it's not a major. Is it a major 7?
I never got
No. See, this is where transcribing is so much easier. I definitely haven't got curtains, have I, on? So I don't have the MP3. No, I don't. Well, let me see how I get through with this part, and then because sometimes it's just easier to get the MP3. The song's called Anne by John Frusciante off the Curtains album.
I never got I never got the weight off the ground. I just forgot what
What is that second chord?
I just forgot.
What's that?
I just forgot.
It's definitely that. I think it's D minor something to B flat over F to A.
What's down? How many get
Oh, now it goes again. Weird.
I just forgot what's up. I just forgot.
And don't tell me somebody, a couple of times I've been doing this and people have jumped on Ultimate Guitar and gone, it's an F7 sharp 5 flat, no, whatever. I don't want to know. I'd rather do it myself.
Got the weight off. I never got. I never.
What's the top note of that chord?
I never got the. forgot. Ground, I just forgot.
Need Rick Beato's kid for this. I think it's a B flat bass note. But I'm not sure what the top part is. Okay, so I'm going to come back to that part later. Does that times 2. Sorry for this being a little bit of a trudge.
What's up and what's down? How many get?
Oh, more crazy chords. Thanks, John.
How many get? How many get down? How many get?
Oh, what's that chord, you little bugger?
How many get the way up?
What's that? Is that? No. Something's going really weird. It's my Kemper. What's going on? It's like it's distorting, but it shouldn't be. Noise gate's not on. Where's the noise gate? Feels like there's something horrible on there. Whatever. Okay. This next few chords are just awful, and my ears are not.
How many get? Down, how many? What's down? How many?
Ah, what's that bugger?
Down, how many get?
What is it?
Many get? How many gets down? How many?
Oh, come on, you little bugger.
And what's down? How many?
Could it be an E half diminished?
Down, how many?
I think it's a G, G minor major 7. I'm not sure. Some of you guys will probably know what it is and learned it already, going, oh, doesn't he know it's just a B flat? Or something like that. Is that how people talk at the internet? I think it is.
Down, how many get? Way up. Get the way I feel now.
Maybe just a minor 7. This is the tricky part.
Get the way I feel it up. And what's down? How many get?
What's that second chord? Is it just a minor?
Down, how many get?
In there.
How many get?
minor 7, G minor. I'm going to come back and do this more later on. God, it's like a racket up still over here. And then to a D. It does that times 2 as well.
Just the sense that nothing is coming.
Oh God, it's just like these random chords that
Nothing is
John is so. This is not like you know.
regret. There's just the sense that nothing.
What's going on with my profiler? Why is it being so silly today? It's like it's clipping somewhere. Is it clipping on my? Sorry, I don't like it. No, it's not clipping on the desk. Anyway.
It's coming my way. There's so much that happened today.
Here's D7 finishing on. Okay, let's go to 49. Okay, I'll figure out those other chords later because I'm frankly starting to get a little bit bored, and probably you guys are too. I do a little bit of this single line stuff just for fun. Definitely something weird going on with my sound though, man. It's freaking me out. There's got to be some sort of noise gate thing. Oh yeah, there's a noise gate on. Oh God. It's just like it was totally freaking me out. It's like this isn't what I'm playing. So nice. Seven and 8 together, then 2 8s. Okay, this is again transcribe. Half speed would be so much faster, but anyway. It's the same thing. Do 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 do. Do do do. Do 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 do. Huh? That sounds so wrong. Yes, I'm feeling like there's something funny in my ears today. Because sometimes I'm just hearing things and I'm going like, what? Is that really what it is? That's better. Six. What's he singing? He's singing a different note. That's the one he's singing, and that's the one he's playing. That's weird, but it sounds cool.
The gods of the city have called my name. It means more to them than it means to me. Somehow I left my body, I left my feet, but it is so hard to keep away. Now nothing is final because see.
Oh, all change. Right, so suddenly it's gone into strumming mode. That's nice though. This little This is going to be a real bugger to teach though, because I'm going to have to try and sing it at least a little bit to demo it, otherwise it's not going to make any sense. That's going to be quite difficult. Hello, other people here. Okay.
All the while, there wasn't all the while. Now nothing is final because it seems all.
Okay.
Because it seems all the while.
God, that's more chords again, John. Come on, give us a break here, will you? Okay, so we got an E flat, to an F. What's that? Awesome.
I know because it seems all the while.
Really?
Because
It's definitely a major 7.
it's all the while. It's all the while.
To C.
It seems all the while.
G minor.
Nothing is final because it seems all the while. There wasn't anything for me. I always gave my smile. So many careless angels responsible for me. Give me disease.
Whew. Very complicated arrangement.
responsible for me. Disease, they give me disease. Give me a pain in my neck.
Oh, that's another weird chord. Come on.
Give me disease. They give me a pain in my
Let's try to E flat major 7.
neck.
Let's try to the F.
Of me, the same
This is a nut arrangement.
pain in my neck. Responsible for me. Give me disease. They give me a pain in my neck. Feed off me. The same day as the cards and will be gone. Now they've shut my eyes and I can't see.
Oh god.
These are the times I was scared of. These are the fates I pushed out of the way. Now they come back here to haunt me. This pain that seems the way and to be.
Definitely not going to be doing the solo. So crazy that Frusciante can go from doing that last song, Will of Death, with 2 chord progressions and 6 chords in the whole song, to this thing which is just like absolutely nuts chords. But it's all good. Okay, let me do a little quick bit of Q&A because I've been gassing on that for ages. How are you doing? It's the kind of laugh I have when I know I can't play that. Like, I can play this. It's a double solo. It's impossible for one guitar for sure, and that also makes it just really. It's easy. It's not that difficult to transcribe as long as you can define which is doing what. But it's a real pain to try and make musical sense. Particularly, that's 2 random. Not random. It's 2 improvised solos. So, and they're not interplaying like, I don't know, Hotel California or something where you got specified harmonic parts or whatever. But yeah. Anyway, I'm a beginner in guitar. When should I skip to the next lesson? Vadim asks. There's lots of information that on the new course, dude. So go and have a look on the new course and have a look at the practice section. It'll tell you all about that, what you should do and what you shouldn't do and what you should be able to do before you move on, in my opinion. But it's kind of up to you too. I don't know much about Mockingbird guitars, dude, I'm afraid. Yeah. Yeah. The D chord is harder than the other chords, and a lot of people ask, like, why am I teaching that one in the first lesson when like A and E minor and other chords are a little bit easier? And the reason is because I think if you learn the D first, you're going to struggle with it a little bit longer. You can get your A chord and your E chord sorted, and then when you've got those 3 chords, you're able to play a whole heap of songs just with those 3 chords. The G and the C become a bit easier if you've done a bit of battling with the D chord first as well. So that's why it's placed that way in the course. I'm super stoked about Frusciante being back in the Chili Peppers. For me, he's a big part of their sound. You know, it's not like the other guys aren't contributing a load of valuable art to the project. You know, but for me, the Frusciante stuff is kind of the ones that are. It's the Chili Peppers stuff that I enjoy the most, I suppose. Yeah, I've just literally while before I started and I was thinking about what I was going to do today, I ripped a bunch of the Frusciante albums onto my phone in Spotify so I can have a listen to them next time I'm out. Yes. So that's, I think, I'm not sure, do I want to keep going with this one? This one's a good one. It's going to be a real pig to teach. But then it's fairly straight. The bits are fairly straight. I just need to sit down. I need to buy the song so I can use my transcribe software. So when I'm doing chord stuff or like chord solos or whatever, jazz things, then I'm quite often segregating just one little chord and looping that one bit to get into the sound and try and figure out what the notes are. And to be honest, I haven't done any of that sort of transcribing in quite some time, so it's a little bit, my ear muscles are probably a little bit lazy and tired anyway, so they're probably going like, hey man, what on earth are you doing making me trying to figure this out, you know, because it's just not the kind of thing I'm doing all the time. So, any other questions from you guys? Just I want to mention one last time, I got this little GoFundMe thing to raise some money for the people affected by the horrible bushfires in Australia. If you go to justinguitar.com/fire, just FIRE, it'll take you to my page. So you could go and chuck some money in the tin. I'm going to pick 3 people who have donated to get a 1 hour one-on-one Skype or Zoom session with me. And I'm going to find 10 people to give away guitars to, not the donors, but people who are either affected by the fires or perhaps some firemen from the rural fire services. So, and if you hear of anyone, like if you hear of a particularly brave dude in the fire service that I think you think should get a guitar and some coaching and stuff, then please drop me an email and let me know some more details about them. That would be really cool. Let's see. Check out Murderer's guitar part. Okay, one last little bit. Let's have one last little bit of a John Frusciante song. So let's give me one more that's not like Anne. So come on, Frusciante fans, I know you're out there. What's one that's not so crazy like Anne but still popular? Well, there's another one that came up quite a few times. What was that? People were talking about. Song to sing when I'm lonely. Why haven't I done that one? Oh, Murderers. That's the one. What's Murderers? Oh. Only John Frusciante could have a beat like that as well. Legend. Is it going to go like really insane in a minute? This is nuts. What record is this of? To record only water for 10 days. Oh, that's Wet Sand, isn't it? That's where he's got Wet Sand from. That riff. Wet sand. Oh, you only know where the wet sand, baby. Oh, not quite, but. Something. Okay, where's that come in? Okay, I might as well write it down. boo. Different the second time, of course. Now, what's it do? Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Oh, crazy. Yeah. Huh? It's quite fun though. Yeah. Do it. Da, 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 da. So repeat it a second time there. Oh, come on. Come on, Jay. Okay, I don't think I'll get that with the record yet, but anyway. Okay, I'm not going to have time to do this. I've been going for over an hour. I probably need to finish and go and do some parenting because it's nearly hour 5, which is my takeover parenting, and start entertaining my daughter. So I'm afraid I'm going to have to love you and leave you and go and play Lego. It's life. I hope this was at least slightly interesting. I will come back and finish that off because it's a really interesting little tune. Murderers. I keep on thinking the Dre thing. Murderers. Murderers. Okay, will this video be archived? Just jumped on. Quite probably not. because if the copyright police are over me, then they might pull it. But they might leave it up. I don't know. I'm going to select the leave it up, and then we just have to see if they do it or not. Hopefully it'll be there. I will do some more on this later on. I'm going to try and do a bit more live streaming of stuff. I'm doing some of my own revising classical guitar for myself just as a hobby, and I figured I'd broadcast some of that as well to give possibly inspire some of you guys to do a little bit of classical guitar as well, just because it's such a nice, peaceful, I find it really therapeutic to do that kind of thing. And also some jazz stuff for my own development. I'm trying to rekindle that as well, so I'm probably going to film some of my transcriptions of that stuff as well as doing the normal lessons and all of those things. We will sort that out soon. I hope you enjoyed this stream. If you did enjoy the stream and you fancy making a donation to the fire service in Australia, please check out justinguitar.com/fire. I really appreciate your support, or they will really appreciate our support. I think it's probably an appropriate way of putting it. Hope you guys had a fantastic Christmas and New Year. Sorry I wasn't about much, but I decided to take a little break because I've been working a bit too hard in the little bit before Christmas. Yeah, I'll see you all very soon. Bye. How do I stop this thing? That button.